The symposium was held under the theme Best Path Towards a Prosperous Zimbabwe. The host, the International Relations Minister, pointed out that Africa is brilliant with policies and frameworks, but continuously fails implementation. She says beyond actioning for change, Zimbabwe will even need to build human resources.
The situation has been equally negative for those with a livelihood as well as those without one. Zimbabwe has experienced significant loss of skills in the past decade, and this has harmed the possibility of efficient management of key economic sectors and institutions.
There was consensus that the global north should lift the sanctions still imposed on Zimbabwe. The country is struggling with high inflation levels, low reserves of fuel, and shortage of food in stores. The country's former deputy prime minister says it's not enough to say sanctions must be lifted. Zimbabwe must fundamentally change their political and social systems.
The fundamental problem in Zimbabwe is the issue around the management of our elections. Help us help ourselves so that when we go to the elections with transparent, credible, fair elections where winners are duly congratulated by the losers.
The panelists agreed that lifting of economic sanctions must be supported by a new wave of frameworks.
There's no harmony between the civil society, the government, and the business community. So there isn't a common voice that comes which drives the national interests.
We ought to have a Davos of Africa, hosted maybe by UNISA every 2 years, where political leaders, scholars, business people, people from the diaspora meet to say, what is the developmental agenda if Africa is to mainstream itself in the 21st century?
The Zimbabwean ambassador to South Africa believes the tide is turning.
The people of Zimbabwe are persevering. This is our country. We are going through an episode, we are going through a period in our history, but we are certainly going to succeed.
The SADC region understands that the redevelopment of Zimbabwe benefits the economic bloc. Minister Pandor says she will ensure that the bloc continues having such dialogues to facilitate the transition to prosperity. Noma, Bolani, SABC News, Pretoria.